Granddad handed me a rusty wrench, said, boy, every bolt's got a story to tell. We brought a 7.2 Chevelle back to life in an old tin garage where the summer heat swelled. By 16 I could shift by sound, didn't need no tax to know if that small block started talking. I let that old girl go. Strip, every truck lined up in chrome, engines barking through the darkness, everybody felt at home. She climbed in wearing blue jeans with my lucky cat pulled low, said, don't you dare let me out till we leave these bars and smoke. Yeah, I was raised on horsepower, raised on gasoline, raised where every back road became a memory. Turn it up, let the tires sing, feel that V8 come alive. Some folks chase the money, we chase Friday night. But we never cared. We had loud guitars and open skies, a cooler full of cold drinks, and 1,000 stars above our lives. Every burnout left a black line, every laugh became a song. Nobody checked the time back then, we just kept rolling on. Years from now, when my hair turns gray and these hands don't shift that fast, I'll still hear those engines echo like thunder from the past. I'll tell my grandkids freedom had a sound, and it came through dual exhaust. Yeah, I was raised on horsepower, on grit and worn blue jeans, where every mile meant something and every road ran free. If heaven's got a back road waiting, with those friends lined up side by side, save me a spot by the starting line. We'll make the angels cheer tonight. Yeah, some people inherit fortunes, I inherited the keys. Every Friday after work, I'd stop at Miller's grocery store. There was an old man at register 3 who'd been there 30 years or more. Same blue vest, same crooked smile, always called me young man still. even after my beard turned gray. He never lost that simple gift. He knew every kid by first name and every widow in the county. One December just before Christmas, a young mama stood in line. Milk, diapers, bread and medicine. Her card got declined 3 times. She whispered, "Put the toys back." Her little boy just looked away before anybody said a word. That old cashier reached beneath the counter, pulled out an envelope, and quietly paid the whole bill. He said, "Christmas ain't something you buy, it's something you become." The whole store fell silent, except that little boy crying as he hugged his mama tight. Some people preach kindness, some people clock in and live it. The following Monday morning, Register 3 stood empty. A little handwritten sign read, "Frank retired yesterday. Thank you for 31 wonderful years." That's when we all realized nobody had ever asked who had been filling that envelope every December. 3 weeks later, the new cashier found another envelope. Inside was $500 and one short note. "If somebody needs this, don't ask their name. Signed, Frank." Now every Christmas, there's still an envelope under Register 3. Nobody knows who puts money in it anymore, because the people Frank helped started helping too. Funny how generosity works. It never really ends, it just changes hands. Murphy's Cafe off Route 66. There's a chair by the window, table 6. Every morning at 7, the coffee gets poured, even though nobody walks through that door. Old Joe runs the place like he always has, wipes down the counter, checks the gas, and right beside the jukebox, glowing blue, sits a plate nobody ever moves. Back in 2005, a young Marine named Ben, he used to stop by every Friday with his friends. He'd order chicken, fried steak, and peach pie too. leave $1 in the jar before he flew. Then one spring he shipped overseas, promised his mama he'd be home by Christmas Eve. But fate had different plans that year, and the whole town learned the meaning of fear. So the empty chair at table 6 still waits where he used to sit, beside the window facing west, toward the sunset he loved best. And every soul who walks inside knows the reason why some heroes leave this world too soon, but they never really say goodbye. Years rolled by like freight trains in the night. Kids grew up and the town changed with time. The old gas station closed, the hardware store moved on, but that chair stayed right where it belonged. Then one July afternoon, a little boy asked why his grandpa always tipped his hat when he walked by. The old man smiled and pulled up a seat and told a story every child should keep, about the empty chair at table 6, still waiting where he used to sit, beside the window facing west, toward the sunset he loved best. And every soul who walks inside knows the reason why some heroes leave this world too soon, but they never really say goodbye. No statue stands in that small town square, no headlines carry his name anymore, but sometimes the strongest monuments are the ones behind ordinary doors. A cup of coffee, a faded photo, a place nobody dares replace, because memory lives a little longer when love is given space. And the empty chair at table 6 still waits where he used to sit, while the morning sun spills through the glass, and another year quietly passes. New faces come, old faces go. That's how life unfolds, but every heart that learns his story carries a piece of him forward. Yeah, the empty chair at table 6 ain't empty after all. There's a pair of worn-out cowboy boots still sitting by the back screen door, covered in dust from 1,000 mornings, like they're waiting to walk once more. They crossed the fields of western Kansas, through drought and rain and harvest time, and every scuff upon that leather marks a chapter of a life. My older brother wore those boots the first day he took over the farm, when Daddy's shoulders couldn't carry all the weight of keeping us strong. He gave up college, gave up freedom, stayed behind when he could have gone, while the rest of us chased our futures. He kept this family moving on. Those boots by the door tell a story of sacrifices nobody sees, of early mornings, broken fences, and hands worn down by duty. Yeah, heroes don't always wear medals. Sometimes they wear dust and dreams, and leave behind a trail of footprints for the rest of us to follow clean. Last spring we laid him in the churchyard, beneath the cottonwood on the hill. The whole town showed up that Sunday, and somehow the world stood still. Mama cried into my shoulder as the church bell softly rang, and all I could think about was how much one quiet man had changed. Those boots by the door tell a story of sacrifices nobody sees, of early mornings, broken fences, and hands worn down by duty. Yeah, heroes don't always wear medals. Sometimes they wear dust and dreams, and leave behind a trail of footprints for the rest of us to follow clean. Last week my nephew slipped them on, though they're still 3 sizes too large. He smiled and said, "One day I'll wear these," and I felt something in my heart. Yeah, those boots by the door keep speaking, though the man who wore them's gone. Through every lesson, every memory, his spirit keeps living on. And when that boy grows into them like his father did before, a new chapter will begin again with those boots by the door. Yeah, some legacies aren't written in stone. They're waiting by the door at home. Clock hit 5 and the whistle blew. I threw my gloves in the back seat too. Steel-toe boots on the dashboard now. Ain't punching another clock somehow. Got my old Chevy shined up clean. Little more rust than gasoline. Windows down, that V8 growls. Tonight this town belongs to us. Hey! Yeah! Main Street's lit like the 4th of July. Everybody's looking for a good time. Bonfire burning by Miller's Creek. You can hear that band from half a mile deep. She's leaning on the tailgate smiling, cowboy boots and a reckless grin. She said, boy, if you're gonna kiss me, you better dance with me first. We're riding that red line on a Friday night. Country hearts and neon lights, dust flying high, radio loud. Ain't nobody slowing us down. Raise your cup, let the speakers shake. Leave tomorrow for another day. If this is all we've got tonight, we're gonna live it full throttle. Yeah, yeah. The sheriff rolled by and tipped his hat. Said, just keep it off my grass. Old folks laugh from the diner porch, 'cause they were us once, years before. Midnight found us by the riverbank. Stars so bright they looked hand-painted. She stole my cap and took my hand. Said, don't ever grow up. We're riding that red line on a Friday night. Country hearts and neon lights, dust flying high, radio loud. Ain't nobody slowing us down. Raise your cup, let the speakers shake. Leave tomorrow for another day. If this is all we've got tonight, we're gonna live it full throttle. One day these roads will know our kids. They'll crank these songs and do what we did. Every generation gets one wild ride before life teaches compromise. But tonight, we're still bulletproof. Yeah, we're riding that red line on a Friday night, laughing underneath those county lights, engines singing, hearts on fire, burning like worn out truck tires. When Monday comes, we'll go back to work, pay our bills and iron our shirts. But nobody can ever say we didn't squeeze every drop from Friday. Yeah, yeah. Small town kids, big time memories. Grandpa's toolbox sat untouched for nearly 5 long years in the corner of the garage, collecting dust and memories. Rusty wrenches, bent up nails, receipts from '72, and 100 little pieces of a life nobody knew. One Saturday in early spring, I finally opened it, just looking for a socket set to fix a fancy bit. But underneath the bottom tray, folded tight and warm, was a hand-drawn map on yellow paper, weathered, stained, and torn. Across the top it simply said, "For whoever finds this first," and listed roads through Missouri in a dozen little towns, with circles drawn around old places I had never heard him name, and one short note beside the edge that only said, "Take the trip someday." So I loaded up my pickup and headed down the line, following that faded map, one county road at a time. The first stop was an old diner where a waitress smiled and said, "Your granddad used to stop right here every Thursday before dawn." And that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through stories that had never been told. Every turn revealed a chapter, every mile revealed a man, and I realized how little we know about the lives behind our family names. One pin led to a schoolhouse where he fixed the furnace free, another to a farmhouse where he'd helped a widow keep her wheat. There was a church in Kansas where he built a handicap ramp, and a riverbank in Iowa where he rescued a boy from the current's grasp. No newspaper had ever written a single word about those days, no medals hung upon his wall, no headlines praised his name. But town after town I met folks whose lives he'd quietly changed, and each story painted someone bigger than I ever known. Yeah, that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through kindness he never stopped to show. Every stop revealed a lesson, every road revealed the truth. The strongest people often leave their greatest work unseen. The final mark was on a hillside overlooking fields of corn, where Grandpa used to watch the sunset when he felt tired and worn. There I found a small tin box buried underneath the stone. Inside was one last letter, written in his careful hand. It said, "If you're reading this, remember, life ain't measured by what you own, it's measured by the people smiling because you helped them carry on. And if you ever feel forgotten or wonder what your life is worth, leave this world a little better than the day you found it first." Now that map hangs in my hallway where I see it every day, and whenever I get lost, it still shows me the way. There's an old brass key above the kitchen door, hanging from a crooked nail since '74. Most folks never notice when they walk inside, but Grandpa said that key saved our lives. Back when Kentucky coal jobs disappeared and hard times settled in for years, bills piled high and hope ran low like winter snow along the road. One December night, a stranger knocked, cold rain dripping from his coat. Said his truck broke down beyond the ridge and nowhere else was open. Grandma fed him beans and cornbread. Grandpa gave him a place to stay. Before he left the next morning, he quietly handed them that key. That key above the door reminds us you never know what kindness starts. One small act can change a lifetime, leave a mark upon a heart. When you're down to almost nothing and the world feels cold and far, sometimes grace shows up uninvited, leaves a light where darkness was. A month later, Grandpa lost his job and thought he'd have to leave the land. And then a letter came from Lexington, signed by the same stranger's hand. He owned a growing hardware company, needed someone he could trust. Said a man who helps a stranger in the rain is the kind of man I want. That key above the door reminds us you never know what kindness starts. One small act can change a lifetime, leave a mark upon a heart. But when you're down to almost nothing and the world feels cold and far, sometimes grace shows up uninvited and leaves a light where darkness was. Now every Christmas Eve we gather, kids and grandkids packed inside, and Grandpa's story gets retold as snow drifts past the window light. That old brass key still catches candle glow, like a blessing frozen in time. Yeah, that key above the door reminds us the richest things can't be bought. A warm meal, an open doorway, and helping hands when hope is lost. The world keeps spinning faster, but some truths never get too old. You never know which simple kindness might come back 100-fold. So we leave that key right where it's been, above the door for all to see. A reminder that a stranger once arrived and changed our family. Windmill on Miller Road still turns above the field, just like it did back in '98, when life felt strong and real. Dad would wake before the sunrise, coffee in his hand, and I'd ride shotgun in that tractor across the Kansas land. We talked about the weather and the price of grain that year. He'd never spoke in big words, but somehow everything was clear. Said, son, a man ain't measured by the money that he makes. It's the promises he keeps and the burdens that he takes. I was 19 when I left that town, chasing city lights. Thought the Great Plains were too small for the dreams inside my mind. Built a business in Missouri, bought a house and wore a tie. But success can feel like failure when your roots are running dry. Then one cold November morning, my sister called in tears, said, you better come on home now, Dad's been fighting hard for years. I stared out at that office glass and watched the traffic flow, and for the first time in forever I knew exactly where to go. So I drove through the midnight rain, past every mile of pride and pain, back to the fields where I learned my name, where the wind still sings across the plains. That old windmill keeps turning slow, like the hands of time I used to know. And every lesson that my father gave still stands like steel above the waves. The hospital room was quiet when I walked through the door. He looked smaller than I'd ever seen, but his eyes were strong once more. He smiled and said, you made it, son, then pointed through the glass toward the winter fields outside, where the snow was falling fast. We didn't talk about regrets or all the years gone by, just watched the clouds move over Kansas. Beneath the fading sky, he squeezed my hand and whispered low, the farm will need your care. And in that simple moment, I knew my future waited there. So I drove through the midnight rain, past every mile of pride and pain, back to the fields where I learned my name, where the wind still sings across the plains. That old windmill keeps turning slow, like the hands of time I used to know. And every lesson that my father gave still stands like steel above the waves. Spring came early that next year, the wheat rose tall and green. Sometimes I still hear his voice carried on the prairie breeze. And when the sunset paints the sky in shades of gold and red, hat toward Miller Road and thank the man who led. Now I walk those fields at dawn, though the years keep moving on. The windmill turns above the land like my father's weathered hands. Every season comes and goes. Every child eventually knows the richest things we'll ever own are the people who call us home. That old windmill keeps turning slow, and every time I see it blow, I know the roots I almost lost were worth far more than what they cost. I was headed home to Tennessee after 6 long months overseas. A window seat, row 12, seat 8, just counting miles till yesterday. The little girl climbed on the plane, holding a stuffed bear in the rain. She stopped beside the empty chair and asked, "Is somebody sitting there?" Her mama smiled and shook her head. "Honey, not anymore," she said. She buckled in and held her close, while silence filled that narrow road. A flight attendant leaned my way, whispered words I'll never shake. Her daddy was supposed to fly today. He never made it home. That empty seat on flight 417 said more than words have ever been. No suitcase there, no cowboy hat, just everything she wished she had. Some heroes miss their flights to heaven before they make it home again. And sometimes love is measured most by the empty seats we leave behind. Halfway through the flight she looked at me, asked if I'd color with her please. She drew a house beneath blue skies with one man standing way up high. She pointed at the clouds outside, said, "Daddy says that's where he'll hide. Whenever I get scared at night, he'll turn the porch light on." I had to turn and face the window so she wouldn't see me cry. That empty seat on flight 417 carried more than memory. It carried dreams that never landed, Because love doesn't disappear, it just changes where it's found. When we landed in Nashville, she reached up and hugged my neck, then tucked that little drawing inside my jacket vest. She whispered, "If you see my daddy, tell him I was brave. There wasn't a dry eye in Terminal C." Now every time I board a plane, I always notice one empty place. Not every chair is truly vacant. Some are filled with grace. And somewhere above these endless clouds, where the morning meets the blue, I believe a father smiled that day, watching his little girl come through. Yeah, I'll never forget the empty seat on flight 417. There's a forgotten mine in town, tucked deep in Colorado hills, where the railway quit running and the clocks all learned to stand still. Most folks packed their lives in boxes when the silver dried away, but old Walter Green stayed behind and watched the years decay. Every evening at sundown, he'd walk the empty street, past the boarded up hotel and the church without a priest. Then he'd climb the ridge above town, where the cold winds always blew, and light a lantern by the tracks like he'd done his whole life through. The story went that 40 years ago, his young son disappeared on a snowstorm night in January, the worst they'd seen in years. The boy had left to catch a train and never made it there. Nobody found no final words, just questions in the mountain air. People called it foolish hope, a wound that wouldn't heal, but Walter never missed a night, no matter how he'd feel. Through blizzards, floods, and summer heat, through every passing year, that lantern kept on burning bright for someone who might appear. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope, so the last lantern in Black Creek burns for the one who never came home. One October evening, when the aspens turned to gold, The stranger stepped off a freight train, looking tired, gray and old. He stood beneath that lantern light with tears upon his face, and stared toward the silent town like he recognized the place. Walter heard the footsteps coming down the gravel road. At first he thought the mountain wind was playing tricks again, but when the stranger softly said, "Dad, it's finally me," 40 years of sorrow broke like rain into the sea. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shined where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke when the whole world says let go. Some hearts refuse to lose their hope, and the last lantern in Black Creek burned long enough to bring him home. No one ever learned the whole story, where the years had taken him away. Some mysteries belong to heaven, and some are better left that way. But every soul in that old town still talks about that autumn night, when hope outlived the hands of time, and faith outshined the dark. Now the lantern's gone from Black Creek, the tracks lie quiet in their sleep, but the legend travels mountain winds through every valley, ridge and stream, that sometimes love keeps waiting long after reason says it's done, and sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home. Yeah, sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home.
I was cleaning out my old billfold, looking for a fishing license card, when a faded grocery receipt slipped out on the garage floor. June 18th, 2004, milk, coffee, eggs, and bread. At the bottom in your handwriting, don't forget, I love you. I'd carried it for 22 years without even knowing. You wrote it while I loaded groceries, smiling like you always did. Said one day you'll find this little note, then laugh before you kissed me. 3 months later came the phone call, a drunk drive across the line. Some days still feel frozen somewhere back in that July. That receipt in my wallet turned out to be a love letter, not expensive how forever can fit on a piece of paper most folks would have thrown away. Our daughter turns 25 this Sunday. She's got your laugh, your stubborn heart, and somehow your handwriting too. I showed her that old receipt. She smiled through tears and said, Mom knew you'd keep it, even if you didn't know you had. Yesterday she surprised me at the grocery store. When I got home, I opened the bag of coffee. Inside was another receipt. At the bottom it said, don't forget, we love you. Now there's 2 receipts in my wallet, 22 years apart. One from the woman who taught me how to love, one from the daughter who taught me love never really leaves. It just finds a new handwriting.
There was a foreclosure sign nailed to the gate, 5 rocky acres just outside Cheyenne. The barn leaned hard to the west wind, and the fences barely stood again. Everybody said, boy, don't buy that place, you'll spend your whole life chasing repairs. But I saw a porch where kids could laugh, and a future hanging in the air. I worked double shifts through the winter months, loaded feed and fixed old rigs. Every paycheck stretched like barbed wire, trying to make enough for little things. My wife planted flowers by the mailbox, though the ground was stubborn clay. She'd smile and say, give it some time, good things grow that way. All we had was 5 acres and a dream, a little faith and a lot of gasoline. More hope than money, more grit than luck, and an old red tractor that wouldn't quit. Yeah, life wasn't easy, but it felt right, building something under those Wyoming skies. Sometimes a man gets richer than he seems, with 5 acres and a dream. By year 5, the barn stood straight again. The pasture turned a healthy green. There were bicycles by the front porch steps, and little muddy boots by the screen. One evening I watched the sunset fall with my daughter sleeping on my knee, and I realized every sacrifice had become exactly what I needed. All we had was 5 acres and a dream, a little faith and a lot of gasoline. More hope than money, more started with
5 acres and a dream.
now every board and field means something to me. Every scar on my hands, every long hard day helped build this life brick by brick. And when the stars come out above the plains and the porch light glows soft and clean, I thank the Lord for everything He gave me through 5 acres and a dream. Yeah, the best things I ever held in my hands were never things at all. I was 23 and reckless, working shrimp boats off the coast. Thought I had forever waiting, thought a young man couldn't lose much. She ran the bait shop by the harbor, with salt wind tangled in her hair. Every morning she'd wave me out, standing on that weathered pier. Then came September's angry waters, black clouds rolling from the sea. The radio warned all vessels, turn around immediately. But pride can be a dangerous compass when you're trying to prove you're strong. I pushed farther into open water, and before long, everything went wrong. And the lighthouse at Cape Fear cut through the storm and all my fear, like a promise shining through the rain, calling me back home again. When the waves were high as mountains and hope was hanging by a thread, that light kept reaching through the darkness till it led me back instead. The engine died around midnight and the sea threw me around. I thought about her waiting on the shoreline, praying I'd be found. Then through the sheets of rain and thunder, a single beam broke through the black. I pointed my bow toward that light and somehow found my way back. And the lighthouse at Cape Fear cut through the storm and all my fear, like a promise shining through the rain, calling me back home again. When the waves were high as mountains and hope was hanging by a thread, that light kept reaching through the darkness till it led me back instead. That was 20 years ago this autumn. Now my hair's turning gray, and every time I pass that shoreline, I still bow my head and pray. Some lights are built from stone and steel, some shine inside a faithful heart, and both can save a drifting soul when the world falls apart. Yeah, the lighthouse at Cape Fear still stands against the passing years, and every time its beam sweeps by, it reminds me how close I came that night. I got the girl, we raised a family, built a life beside the sea, and it all began with the light
that refused to give up on me. Yes, miracles don't make the news, they just got a man back home.
Out on the Carolina coast, where the Atlantic meets the sand, there stood a lonely lighthouse built by withered working hands. My daddy kept that beacon burning through every storm that came, while I dreamed of bigger cities and a life beyond the waves. Every night he climbed those stairs with a lantern and a key, while cargo ships crossed dark horizons far beyond the sea. It's say a light ain't measured by how far away it shines, it's measured by the lives that helps make it home alive. At 18 I left Hatteras with a suitcase and a plan, certain there was something greater waiting for me inland. I spent 20 years in boardrooms wearing polished shoes and ties, building things that look successful through everybody's eyes. Then one winter I got a call from a number I didn't know. The keeper's house was empty now, and Dad was gone. I flew back through a freezing rain to that familiar shore, and found his boots beside the door, like he just stepped out once more. I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and it took me half a lifetime to learn where I came from. You can chase every distant skyline underneath the sun, but some lights keep guiding you long after they're gone. Through the fog and through the storms, through every road I wandered on, I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and his light still leads me home. The town was planning to close the tower by the bay. Modern systems made it obsolete, or so the experts claimed. But as I walked those spiral stairs, I saw Dad's name carved deep, beside 100 others who had kept watch over the sea. So I stood before the county board and made a different case. Said this lighthouse isn't concrete, steel and paint. It's every life that found the harbor when the ocean turned black, and somehow the whole room rose up and brought the old tower back. I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and it took me half a lifetime to learn where I came from. You can chase every distant skyline underneath the sun,
tallest things you'll see, sometimes they simply leave behind a reason to believe. Yeah, I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and the older that I get, the more I understand a good life ain't about the miles of money that you've won. It's about the people who become your guiding stars through the fog and through the storms. Their lessons carry on. I'm the lighthouse keeper's son, and his light still leads me home. Yes, his light still leads me home.
I was 8 years old that winter, standing in Johnson's general store, staring at a baseball glove hanging by the front door. Mama counted every dollar, said maybe next paycheck, son. I smiled like I understood, but I knew there wasn't one. As we turned to leave that morning, an old man tipped his hat to me, slipped something in my little hand and said, "Don't lose your dreams." It wasn't much, just a silver dollar, smooth from passing hand to hand. He said, "Keep this in your pocket till you become the kind of man who sees another little boy looking through a store window. Then you'll know exactly where this old coin ought to go." He walked outside into the snowfall. I never learned his name. That coin in my pocket bought a whole lot more than things. It bought a promise to tomorrow, passed from stranger down to me. Sometimes the richest people never own a mansion at all. Sometimes all they leave behind is one old silver dollar. 40 years rolled by like freight trains. Now my hair is turning gray. One December just before Christmas, I saw a little boy that way, looking through the sporting goods store at a brand new catcher's mitt. His mama pulled him gently back, said, "Not this year, sweetheart." I reached inside my jacket pocket, that old coin was still there. Knelt beside him with a smile, placed it softly in his hand. He looked up and asked, "Mister, what's this for?" I heard myself say the very words, "Don't lose your dreams." Now that coin
coins in somebody else's pocket, just like it was meant to be. A little smaller in my world, a whole lot bigger in his dreams. Maybe someday he'll pass it onward to another kid somewhere, and long after all our names are forgotten, that old silver dollar will still be changing lives.
Every Wednesday after work, I'd stop by O'Malley's down the street. Not for the beer, not for the game, just 40 minutes off my feet. There was an old man by the jukebox, always sitting chair number 9. Same brown jacket, same black coffee, same quiet look in his eyes. We talked about the weather mostly, baseball, fishing, county fairs. Never once about the silver band he still wore after all these years. One December he missed a Wednesday, then another came and went. The waitress looked toward his empty chair and quietly said, his wife still comes every Friday. She can't bring herself to stop. That old jacket on chair number 9 still hangs there every Friday night. She drapes it over like always, then orders 2 slices of pie. Some people think she's holding on, some whisper she should let him go, but love don't answer to the calendar. It only answers to the soul. One snowy evening she waved me over, said, would you mind sitting here? She pushed his coffee across the table and then smiled through quiet tears. She told me how they met in '68 at a county dance in June. He promised every Friday night, I'll always save this seat for you. Now that jacket on chair number 9 means more than leather, thread, and time. It's every promise someone kept long after goodbye. Love don't always need a heartbeat to keep showing up each week. Sometimes forever wears an old brown coat on an empty seat.
Spring rolled in with blooming dogwoods, but one Friday she wasn't there. The waitress folded up that old brown jacket and laid a single white rose on the chair. Nobody spoke, nobody had to. Now chair number 9 sits empty, but somehow it isn't alone. 2 coffee cups still rest there sometimes, from folks who knew their story. Whenever somebody asks about them, we just smile and point that way. 'Cause in a little bar outside Savannah, love still keeps its Friday date. Yes, marriages end with a funeral. The best ones never really do.
Pulled off Highway 287 just after dark, dust still hanging in the Texas air. 2 weeks early from a drilling job, thinking I'd surprise her there. Had roses on the passenger seat, a diamond necklace wrapped in blue. Spent 14 days counting down the hours, dreaming of getting back to you. Then I saw her Silverado parked beside a truck I didn't know. Underneath the porch light glowing like a warning I should have seen before. The screen door slammed, I heard her laugh, the same one that used to stop my heart. But that night it sounded different, like somebody tearing me apart. Her Silverado in his driveway, the pictures burned into my mind. One look was all it took to know she left our forever behind. I gave her my trust, my name, my plans, every dream I was holding tight. Now all that's left are taillights fading into the middle of the night. She tried to talk when she saw me standing there, tears already in her eyes, said it wasn't supposed to happen, like that could make it right. I dropped the roses in the gravel, set that little blue box down, then climbed back in my old F-150 and drove without a sound. Her Silverado in his driveway, the pictures burned into my mind. One look was all it took to know she left our forever behind. I gave her my trust, my name, my plans, every dream I was holding tight. Now all that's left are taillights fading into the middle of
leave lessons in your soul. I learned that love ain't measured by the promises people make. It's what they're still protecting when nobody's awake. Yeah, her Silverado in his driveway still crosses my mind sometimes, but it don't break me like it used to. It just reminds me of that night, 'cause losing her taught me something about the man I wanna be. You can't build a future with someone who's already halfway gone to leave. So I let the memory roll away like dust across the Texas sky, and left her Silverado in his driveway, back where it belongs tonight.
Friday night in Cheyenne, Wyoming, dust rising under arena lights. The whole town packed those metal bleachers, waiting on the ride of the night. I was 25 and full of fire, with a borrowed dream and a busted knee, holding on to one last season before life decided who I'd be. The chute gate rattled like thunder, that black bull weighed near 2 grand. Folks called him Devil's Highway, nobody stayed on him long. I wrapped that rope around my glove, heard the crowd fade into the dark. Funny how the loudest moments always start with a quiet heart. It's only 8 seconds forever, 8 seconds hanging between fear and faith, 8 seconds to prove to yourself you ain't backing down today. The world keeps telling you play it safe, but some dreams don't work that way. Sometimes a whole life fits inside 8 seconds forever. The gate flew open like a shotgun blast, and all hell broke loose below. That bull twisted left then right, trying hard to throw my soul. I felt my shoulder nearly give out, heard the buzzer cut through the air, and when my boots hit Wyoming dirt, I knew I'd left a piece of me there. It's only 8 seconds forever, 8 seconds hanging between fear and faith, 8 seconds to prove to yourself you ain't backing down today. The world keeps telling you play it safe, but some dreams don't work that way. Sometimes a whole life fits inside 8 seconds forever.
honestly, I'd do it all again. 'Cause some victories don't need trophies, just a story worth telling someday. It's only 8 seconds forever, but those seconds changed my life. Taught me courage ain't about winning, it's showing up and taking the ride. Now my son wears my old cowboy hat and dreams beneath the same big sky. And when he asks me what it means to live, I tell him find something worth risking for. 'Cause the best moments don't last forever, but forever can live in a moment.
Was a man in Amarillo everybody knew by sight, riding an old green bicycle from morning until night. No fancy truck, no business sign, no ads in any paper, just a paint-stained denim jacket and a pocket full of brushes. He'd stop at farms and trailer parks, little houses off the road, painting names on rusty mailboxes where the prairie grasses grow. $10 if you had it, free if times were running tight, and somehow every mailbox looked brand new in the evening light. Nobody knew much about him except his name was Ray. He never talked about the past or where he'd come from anyway. But every Sunday after church, he'd sit beneath the cottonwoods, sketching barns and windmills like nobody else could. Then one spring a tornado tore through Carson County hard, ripped roofs off homes and scattered lives across 100 yards. Families lost photographs, letters, keepsakes from the years, the kind of things that can't be fixed with lumber, nails, and tears. That's when the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, Grandpa standing by the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say, some things survive if they're remembered still. For months he worked inside the church from sunrise until dark, turning faded snapshots into pieces of the heart. One by one the townsfolk came to see what he could do, and every painting brought back pieces of the lives they once knew. Then a reporter from Dallas came asking for his name, said the whole state's talking about these beautiful works he'd made. Ray just smiled and shook his head, said the story ain't about me, it's about helping people hold on to what they thought they'd never see. Yeah, the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, grandmas dancing in the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say, some things survive if they're remembered still. When autumn came, he disappeared just as quietly as he'd
No address, no forwarding trail, just colors that were left behind. But in the church hall hangs a sign written by a child one day. Thank you for bringing back our stories, and nobody ever took it away. Now every mailbox down those roads still shines beneath the Texas sky. But what folks talk about these days ain't the names he painted on the side. It's how one stranger showed a town that healing takes more than time. And sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind. Yeah, sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind.
Every Tuesday at 6:15, she'd walk into Murphy's Cafe alone, order sweet tea and chicken pie, sit 3 tables from the window. I'd be there with my black coffee, pretending to read the local news. Truth was, I knew every little habit, every smile, every pair of boots. For 7 months I never spoke, just nodded when our eyes would meet. She'd leave $1 in the tip jar, always waved to everyone she'd see. Oh, Miss Betty caught me watching, laughed and said, boy, you'll never know if you keep falling in love every Tuesday without saying hello. 3 tables from the window, 3 steps too scared to take. I could rope a wild Mustang, but my heart was bound to break. Funny how the strongest hands can still tremble when love is near. Sometimes forever waits on one small word, the hardest one to hear. The next Tuesday I got there early, bought 2 slices of pecan pie. When she walked in, I pulled out the chair and somehow found the nerve to smile. She laughed and said, it's about time. I wondered how long you'd wait. I've been sitting 3 tables from the window, hoping you'd ask me on a date. 3 tables from the window, 3 steps I finally made. Turns out all those silent Tuesdays were leading to this day. Funny how the strongest hands can still tremble when love is
One little chance can change your life when you choose courage over fear. Now every anniversary we stop by that little place, order pie and sweet iced tea, and smile at the empty space. Sometimes a shy young couple's there, looking just like we once did, so I quietly pay their check and leave before they notice it. 3 tables from the window, that's where our story starts. Not with fireworks or fancy words, just 2 ordinary hearts. Now our grandkids laugh when they hear how close we came to missing this, all because a country boy finally leaned in for a kiss. Yeah, love doesn't always arrive like thunder. Sometimes it waits 3 tables from the window.
Radio crackled just past midnight on Route 84 through New Mexico. My headlights painted silver lines across a desert no one seemed to know. I'd spent 10 years hauling freight trailers, sleeping more in truck stops than at home, watching birthdays through a phone screen, always somewhere down the road. That night a song came through the static, one my little daughter used to sing back when she was 5 years old, and thought I could do anything. I pulled over by an old gas station under a buzzing neon light, and for the first time in forever I sat alone and cried. That radio on Route 84 hit me harder than ever before. Made me realize what all these miles had really cost me over time. You can chase a paycheck coast to coast, cross every state from south to north, but some things get left behind when your heart ain't where you are. By sunrise I was heading east toward Oklahoma and home again, past windmills turning in the distance, past towns I'd only passed through then. When I pulled into our gravel driveway, my daughter ran out through the yard,
was nearly 16 by that summer, and suddenly I saw how much I'd missed. That radio on Route 84 hit me harder than ever before. Made me realize what all these miles had really cost me over time. You can chase a paycheck coast to coast, cross every state from south to north, but some things get left behind when your heart ain't where you are. Now I still drive, but not for weeks on end. Got a local route close to town. Sometimes success looks a whole lot different than the dreams you started out with. Yeah, that radio on Route 84 changed what I was living for. Turned a lonely highway into a sign, pointing me back to my life. Now every night when I pull in the drive and see the porch light shining warm, I thank God for one old country song and a radio on Route 84. Yeah, some roads take you far away just to show you where you belong.
Met her at exit 17 on a Sunday morning drive at a roadside farmer's market just outside of Caroline. She was selling jars of honey from her granddad's old beef farm, with sunlight in her brown hair and wildflowers in her arms. I stopped to buy a mason jar and head on down the road, but we got to talking about the weather and the places we called home. An hour slipped away like dust drifting through the breeze, and somehow that little roadside stand felt like where I was meant to be. Next week I came back again, pretending I needed more honey stacked up in my kitchen from the visits before. She laughed and called me out on it, said you ain't hard to read, then handed me a lemonade and pulled up a chair for me. By August we were dancing at the county fair at night, beneath a string of colored bows, glowing soft and bright. The band played an old two-step while stars filled up the sky, and I knew right then I didn't want another goodbye. She feels like Sunday morning at exit 17, like a place you've never seen, but somehow always dreamed. Like the first warm sun after a week of pouring rain, like finding your way home without knowing you were lost along the way. She ain't fireworks or a runaway train, she's the steady kind of love that stays.
Sunday morning at exit 17. Now there's a porch swing by the farmhouse where we watch the evening fade, and a little girl who runs around the yard chasing butterflies all day. The honey stand still opens every weekend in the spring, and folks still stop to buy a jar and hear the old bees sing. Sometimes I'll catch her smiling when she thinks I'm not aware, and I swear she's just as beautiful as that first morning there. Funny how a simple stop can change your whole life's course, like turning down a road you almost passed before. She feels like Sunday morning at exit 17, like a place you've never seen, but somehow always dreamed, like the first warm sun after a week of pouring rain, like finding your way home without knowing you were lost along the way. And she ain't fireworks or a runaway train, she's the steady kind of love that stays. And every day with her still feels like Sunday morning at exit 17. People talk about forever like it's some impossible thing, but forever's just 1,000 little moments in between. A cup of coffee on the porch, her hand reaching for mine, the ordinary things that make a life shine. Yeah, she feels like Sunday morning at exit 17, like the sweetest little blessing I never saw coming, like a song the radio plays exactly when you need a reminder that the best things arrive quietly. She ain't fireworks or a runaway train, she's the steady kind of love that stays. And after all these years, she still feels like Sunday morning at exit 17. There's a wooden bench at mile 42 along an old Wyoming trail with a mountain view. It ain't on any map you'll find in a tourist stand, just a place beside the pines where the wildflowers still dance. I first saw it one September after 14 hours on the road, hauling cattle through the bighorns with a heavy load. The sun was dropping low, painting gold across the sky, and carved into the back were words that caught my eye. If you're tired, sit a while. A year went by before I passed that way again. This time after losing my brother, my closest friend. The world felt colder than the snow, building on the peaks, and grief had stolen every answer I was trying to seek. So I pulled over by that bench as As evening settled in, found a notebook and a weatherproof box tucked underneath it then, filled with notes from strangers passing through the years, written in faded ink, stained by rain and tears. At the bench at mile 42, people leave pieces of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow. At the bench at mile 42. One note came from a trucker who beat cancer in the spring. Another from a young girl learning what forgiveness means. A widow wrote about her husband and the stars he loved to see, and every page somehow felt like it was speaking straight to me. I sat there till the moon rose high above the mountain line, reading stories from strangers who had survived their hardest times. And then I took my pen and wrote my brother's name inside. For the first time since he left, I didn't feel alone that night. At the bench at mile 42, people leave pieces of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow. At the bench at mile 42, nobody knows who built it there or who first placed that notebook down. But sometimes the best things in this world appear without a sound. Not every hero wears a badge, not every gift has a name. Sometimes healing starts with strangers who've walked through the same pain. Now every fall I stop again and add another page with a pen, watching the sunset fade beyond the blue. And when life gets heavy, when the answers disappear, I remember all those voices that I found out there, and how a simple wooden bench helped carry people through. Yeah, hope still waits beside the pines at the bench at mile 42.